Alright, hello. If you're watching this, you're probably interested in playing the Ecuador Imperial mod that I've made for EU4. In this video, I'm going to be going over general tweaks that I've made in the mod, as well as how to start off the country and a few more interesting things along the way. Alright, so let's begin. This is the mod page, and here we have the description. So I'm just going to go through it. A mod adding the nation of Ecuador into the 1444 EU4 start date. One thing I want to clarify, this isn't like the Quito civilization that lived there in 1444 in the game. This is actually the modern country of Ecuador, so it's going to be a bit different. Changes, I added the nation to the 1444 starting date with fleshed out missions and ideas. I've added 2 new cultures, one of them being Ecuadorian, which is the primary culture of Ecuador, who is also the primary country of that culture, and a special culture that you might be able to find if you look hard enough. I've also updated a few things with Crownland. I made it so that the development cost is a bonus if you have very high Crownland. I like to justify it if the country if the government itself has like 80% of the Crownland, they'll probably have some sort of like ways to make it easier to develop the land. I've also updated a few country name slash adjectives to make it more immersive. I'm sure you'll see those in the game. I've also updated a few country missions. They actually go hand in hand with a few of these things here, just to kind of make it more realistic in a way that I like it, and also to add a couple funny Easter eggs. I've also updated country colors for some formables, specifically Prussia. As you know, in the base game, Prussia is a gray that is the exact same gray as Wasteland, and so if you go into the Player's Map mode or the Great Powers Map mode to see how big you are, you won't be able to, because it's the same color as the background. And so I made it Prussian blue instead of the gray. I've also added some new scornful insults. You'll see those if you load into the game. And I've made minor tweaks to some religions. I made it +2 tolerance of the true faith and -2 tolerance of heretics for Catholicism, because I thought it was more realistic. I changed a few things around with the Sunni mechanics and a few things like that. I've also tweaked a few overpowered decisions, namely the one to make Constantinople capital as the Ottomans. I changed a few things there. I didn't nerf it heavily, but it's just a bit less incredibly strong. I've also done a bit of this. I've changed culture and religion of some provinces to more accurately reflect population data from 1444. I've seen a few Ottoman censuses from the time showing that the Aegean coast of Asia Minor had more Greeks than Turks, and so I've updated that. I've also added Byzantine cores to certain areas that the Byzantines had up to 150 years before the start date. I've also edited a few countries' ideas, namely Byzantium, because the ideas that they had didn't really reflect the nature of the country, and also a few others that you might see at some point. And I've also updated army professionalism mechanics. And you'll see that when you load into the game. I'm not going to spoil too much. Alright, time to go into the actual game. Alright, so here you can see this nation of Ecuador, 1444 start date. Now the first thing I think you'll realize is that you can't see any of the map. And the reason because of that is I wanted to make Ecuador have parity with the old world, and so I gave it the High American Tech Group, because I didn't want to give like the Western Tech Group or anything like that. The issue with High American is that it's something in the files where all of the provinces in the New World have specific techs that have been discovered by, and since High American isn't a starting tech group, it is just like this pretty much. All the land you have, and then Gulf of Guayaquil, which is this province right here actually, and yeah, that's kind of all you can see. Luckily, I have included a conquistador and an explorer, so you can go and explore everything from the start date, and I'll talk about something in a minute that should help with that as well. Let's go over the ideas. So the ideas are pretty strong, I would personally say. So the traditions are attrition for enemies and discipline, and the ambition is max promoted cultures, +2, and discipline is +10%, and attrition is +2%, +2. First idea is yearly army tradition +1. Second idea is tech cost -10%. Third one is +2 tolerance of the true faith and +2 yearly papal influence, because Ecuador is Catholic in the game, and also in real life. Then the fourth idea is yearly prestige +2. Fifth idea is morale of armies and prestige decay. Sixth idea is idea cost, and the seventh idea is production efficiency. Overall, pretty strong ideas for both your economy and for your armies. I will also say that I've updated a few of the trade goods here to more accurately reflect what is actually produced in these areas. Being an Ecuadorian myself, I know that. And I've also increased some of the development in some of these areas to more accurately reflect the modern day. So it's like kind of like this. And aside from that, I will show kind of how to start. There's quite a few things in this that I can't show because that would spoil it, and I want you to see it on stream. If you're Corbett, I guess, because I made this mod so that he would play it on stream, and I'm sure he's watching it right now because I'm gonna send it to him. But yeah, I'll give you a quick look at the army professionalism. Actually, I won't do that. You can see that for yourself. Actually, no, I may as well show you. So starting from here, you get a bit of extra discipline. This is mostly to incentivize stuff like drilling and just increasing your army professionalism in general. It's also to discourage people from clicking this little button right here to lower army professionalism, because I don't think that is, because I think that professional army should be prized above a big army. And yes, so starting moves. I would personally go here to the estates. You start out with a bit more crown land than normal, so as you can tell it's 34.998, so you should be able to seize crown land. And there's actually, you have some missions that I'm not going to show you because there are Easter eggs there, to develop some provinces, and this is Guayaquil is the first one to do. So I'd encourage going here, putting encourage development, and clicking here on the production. That way you make some extra cocoa, and you also get the 40% crown land that you were supposed to get. So now you can hand out the primacy of nobility to the estates. One thing that you might have noticed is that this is an Iberian thing, because Ecuadorian is part of the Iberian culture group. Alright, so obviously you can give out all of your little privileges. I like to give out my monopolies because it gives me extra mercantilism, and I don't like doing the exploit that gives you a bunch of mercantilism. So these are the ones I'm giving it for now. I understand that as time goes on, they will begin losing loyalty to equilibrium, but at this point in time, it's 61, 68, and 67, so I think we're good for now. A few more things to do. You cannot see it right now, but to the south, there are cores of yours right here. That is because in the 90s, Ecuador fought a war with Peru, and this land would be a Ecuadorian core. And since this land is wasteland, or not uncolonized land in real life, I had to give it to a country to the south, which you will not be able to see right now, but you will see eventually. Starting ideas for Ecuador. I would recommend taking exploration as your first idea group, because you need to explore all of this. In addition, you also need to colonize. I would also recommend expansion ideas for your second idea group, because that is a quite useful combination to have with exploration ideas. It'll also help you because a lot of the missions here require having certain provinces that in game start are uncolonized, and so being able to colonize those will be able to get you the missions early, even before the Europeans arrive. And I'm sure you notice one more thing. This is the Imperial ideas. I actually was making this and then I forgot about it, so it's all non-localized. But as you can tell here, there's quite a few things that are pretty useful when it comes to being an empire, and so I think it's pretty strong. If you want to take it, go on ahead. That does mean that there's one more military idea than all the other ones, but it is what it is. I'm sure I might come back to this guide, but I think that's all for the starting moves. Two more things. I've done extra tweaks to certain countries that are not Ecuador because I have a great deal of personal pride for this, and so if you are interested, you might also want to try playing Poland or Byzantium, because those countries are pretty interesting. Alright, and that is all. So, hope you enjoy the mod, and as always, have a great day.